Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra Tutorials channel. I'm your host, Larry, and today we're looking at the last couple of items that are going to be added as new base items inside of Subnautica 2 in the future. And one of those things is actually something that I just finally got to behave itself using the mods to let you build extra goodies, and that is what happens when you want to invite friends over to your base. Well, you got to have a place for everyone to sit, and while these chairs that they've got right now work all right, you can kind of sit and stand up and not trap yourselves for 5,000 years. The nice thing would be is if you had option to build a sofa, and there is like a very blocky sofa that they've got in the game right now, in the game files I should say, that allows you to place a sofa in different orientations. You can make like a really long sofa. You can make a curved sofa as well. So if you want to have like a spot where everyone can sit, you will eventually be able to do that. Now currently this is purely cosmetic. There's not actually any sit features inside of this sofa, but you can actually make like, you know, one of those little sofa, what are they? There was a name for it where you make like a little sofa pit and you let it be so that everyone has like a place to sit. And so it's a perfectly little like round or a square pit full of sofa that everyone has a place to sit. It's almost like a pseudo bed pit. But anyway, you can make one of those. You can make just a regular sofa if you want, where everyone can sit along a wall. It's almost like a functional bench in a way, if you want to do it that way, and then just have like a curve on either side. And they actually butt up to each other really nicely too. There's no gap or anything. I kind of like that. You could almost make an artistic sofa that way. Although it doesn't let you destroy it in sections. You have to destroy it all at once if you have one big sectional. So keep that in mind if you're ever farting around with the sofa. So I like that they actually added that. The other thing that I was going to talk about in another video, but again, it wasn't properly working, is the fact that you're going to be able to start building with the foundations from Subnautica 1 and below 0 that we're all familiar with. They've got some tasteful LEDs on the edges. And much like the rooms, they already allow you to increase the size significantly just by placing more on the edges of them. And you can even build off the middle as well in order to just expand them the exact same way as the standard room. One thing that I thought was really nice about these is they thought about how to make these more useful than just a standard platform. Because sure, you can have a platform, but like that's just a standard platform. What if you want to make a fancy power station? Because one of the things that people use these for a lot is a foundation for like thermal plants, because you can't always set them perfectly around a thermal vent so that they all get full power. In this case, they've now added the Superconducting foundation, which may or may not want to let me build it here. And the Superconducting foundation is a bit more expensive, and it looks a little bit different too. You'll notice that it's got a different edge here that's more electrical, like those electrical fish that you see later in the game. And these little edge pieces also look like more of the alien Axum technology that we saw. And funny enough, they actually show you how much they require to build. Regular foundations are 8 titanium, which is kind of steep, actually, considering like a regular room is 5 titanium. And then the improved version requires 6 titanium ingots, 6 gold ingots, and 6 troilite in order to make the superconducting version. So they are extremely expensive, honestly. But the bonus to this is it doubles the power generation of whatever you put on it to make it easier to generate power. So what I can do now is I can go to exterior facilities, and we have regular solar panels, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. They do 1 to 8 energy per tick. But now there's also the duplex solar panels. And these ones are not terribly different looking right now. Like, they look the exact same as the regular ones, but there is a little square underneath of them. And this actually allows these solar panels to put double the output when they are sitting on one of these panels, or one of these platforms, I should say. The superconducting doubles whatever you put on it. So if I take off, it's all but 2, so these should be about 80 power right now. And I use a power transmitter to connect them from underneath. Then if I go back to the base, it should show me that, yep, 160 power is now coming in, as opposed to just the 80 that I built. So they're expensive, yes, the platforms, but they also enhance your ability to generate power by having to build less power output devices. So that's kind of neat to have, and I love the idea of blending Alterran technology with alien technology, and I wonder if that's going to go beyond merging the Axum technology and maybe include some of the architect technology as we go along in this game. Another thing I wanted to bring up, just because I don't terribly dislike the regular Tadpole dock, but they're also going to be adding, or potentially adding, a Tadpole Blister dock into the game. And this is going to allow you to have a vertical dock that you can drive into, much like the concepts for the sea truck dock inside of Below Zero. I wonder if I think they added that new dock for the sea truck inside of Subnautica Below Zero. If not, the whole idea was that it would pluck the front off of your sea truck and allow you to just gently walk out of the vehicle, rather than having to get out or to dock it like this, where it gets pulled up and you have to use a moon pool of some kind. And I kind of like that idea, having a giant force field up in the wall that you can walk in and out of, and then being able to have like a little track that pulls your tadpole in for docking inside the base. Let's see, what else is kind of cool to showcase? We've already seen the Axum streetlights, where you can just kind of put the brightest thing known to man down on the ground as a lamp. These are kind of overkill, so I understand why those didn't make it into the game yet. And then the other stuff that we have for inside of the base, which I showcased before, are things like the Axum chair that's under furniture and decor. I think I actually just missed it. Here's the Axum chairs. You can make like a fancy seating area. I wonder if we'll actually be able to recline in these, because they kind of have like the same reclining profile as like a beanbag chair. And then there's also, for throwing stuff away, is the Axum trash can, which again looks like some sort of weird alien cloaca mixed with the popcorn bucket from Dune. Some other stuff that people were asking me about is, how do you get things like these hull plates? Because this is the, what is this called again? This is called the Pioneer hull plate. These are something that you can only get this one and the Seamoth model by watching Twitch when they're doing Twitch drops. Eventually, when the game is in full release, they'll allow everyone to have these. I have these right now because I've got the command console mod on and I've unlocked all the building blueprints. But, I don't know. You can't get them right now during early access unless you do that, or you turn on the lights, or you watch the Twitch streams for the developers right before they open up a new update or drop a new patch. But it could be worse. You've also got this new storage container, the storage cache, which is just a cute little chest that you can put a few things in. It's not the best for storage, but it doesn't take up as much space, and you could probably put it at the foot of a regular storage container. There are those. So you could totally put like a regular storage container, and then somewhere you could grab the storage cache, which is inside of here. Thought it was inside of here. Maybe I'm blind. then you can grab the storage cache and then put it just in front of it. So you could access this, then you could access this, which would be kind of efficient. Although again, these are really bulky though. Like this has got not quite as much storage as this, but it's just it's very bulky comparatively. I also really wish they allowed us to put stuff on top of these tables too. That's something that's bugging me, that I can't just like put, say, one of these jars on top of this table. It just won't go, even if I turn off clipping or the auto snapping. So that's another nitpicky thing. I want to be able to decorate shelves and stuff in this game and have more shelf options, but I'm sure stuff like that's coming. They really want to step up the base decoration in this game, so here's hoping. And just because I can talk about it before we leave, again, is it'll be kind of interesting to finally get a working version of these booster rings. These are basically just a bigger version of those geode-looking ones that you can already drive through in the later Alien Ruins area of this first chunk of Subnautica 2. These ones actually create like a little current in them though. If you look, rather than making just like a magnetic boost that yeets you across time and space. So it'll be kind of cool to see what they do with these, and if they do work the way that we think that they will, I'm going to use them to make like a super booster path past the Collector Leviathan so he can try to chase me and fail. Because that kind of amuses, entertains me. Although you would have to make two rings, one going through and one going back. But I would, I would still do that just for grins. So that's just another brief look at some more upcoming stuff inside of Subnautica 2 for base building that I missed out on sharing before. I hope you guys enjoyed and were kind of curious about what's going to be added. And as they add more stuff that's unreleased to the game files, I'll be continuing to explore things as each new patch drops. And until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. I've been your host, Larry. Bye!